Hello and welcome to Spring 2017 here at Cal State Fullerton. My name is Professor Volker Janssen, and this little video is meant to introduce you to the all-online version of History 180, the American History Survey. I want to just quickly describe some of the main features of the course site, some of the requirements for this course, and make sure that you have a good start to the semester. First of all, let me describe some of the main assets of titanium that you can see here. Let me quickly switch to the student role so you see what it would look like for you. On the top left, you have activities for the course organized by category. You can see assignments. This is where all the writing activities are visible. And you can see your forums, your introductory forums, and then your learning forums down here. And you can also find your quizzes, document quizzes, all listed here for your convenience. So that's a good feature to have up here in the top left corner. On the top right, you have student services. If you need technical help, technical support with the course site, please always first go to Student IT Help. I am not a tech administrator. I am a professor of history, and while I know some things about this course site because I set it up, I am not able to provide technical support. If you need disability support services, you know where to go here. And if you need writing assistance, the university student support services are there for that kind of thing. Here on the left, you have your grade book, where you can see all the different assignments that you need to complete, and you can see how you're doing. The overall course total up here at top will tell you where you are based on the work that you have completed. So let's say you only complete 3 items and you reach 90% in all 3. It will show you a 90% grade, meaning an A- for the course so far. But of course, by the end of the semester, I will look at all your assignments. And if you only completed 3 at 90%, you will still not get an A- for that. So I hope you understand the difference between calculating your grade based on all assignments or only a grade calculated based on completed assignments. Let me take you back to the main course site here. You can find your fellow participants over here. You can see upcoming events, which lists some of the deadlines that you are responsible for. And now I think it's a good time to introduce you to your course administrator, Joshua Cawley. Joshua Cawley is an MA student in history here in the department and has a good amount of experience in the field. He is your first contact for any questions regarding this course, whether it's about a discussion board or whether it's about a writing assignment. Please email him first, and after that I'm always happy to help you as well. Note that I have office hours from Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11:15 to 1 o'clock here in the Humanities and Social Sciences building on the 8th floor. Come out of the main elevators, turn left again, and I'm the first office door on your left-hand side. You can also arrange for a Zoom personal meeting with me, or you can email me and I'm sure to respond within 36 hours. You can also leave a voice message if you call my office. The voice messages are forwarded to my email account. This video here is my introduction that explains how I got into history, and what I would like you to do at the very beginning of this class is to also introduce yourself. Post your own video, your own photo, tell the class who you are. We are an online course, so we will not really get to see each other, and I would like us to break down the anonymity just a little bit. Now comes the syllabus. Here you can print out the syllabus, and further down here you can see the course requirements, our required course materials, and other important features. Last but not least, very importantly, academic dishonesty. Let me say this very plainly. Online courses tempt students more than others to cheat and plagiarize. Do not attempt this. I have found too many students who were inconsolable after plagiarizing, copying from websites, copying from fellow students, or copying from written materials for very little benefit. In the end, they all received an F because that is university policy, and I will not stray from that. So do not find yourself tempted. Do not copy. Adhere to the rules. Use only the textbook that we use. Do not go to a paper mill and have someone else write a mediocre paper for you that gets you a bad grade and in the end possibly gets you an F for fraud anyway. So please stay honest, do your work. A C that is honestly earned is better than an F that you get for stealing. So with that said, let me go further down here on the grading criteria. On the grading criteria, you can find descriptions of the different module components, an introduction on how to interpret a source, which is one of the things you'll have to do in any module, a guide to note-taking, and some further details on the inquisitive assignments. The inquisitive assignments are one of the regular features in the modules, and that gets us to the main meat of the course, the weekly modules. So that means you have 15 of these. Let me go to a module down here. This is a typical module. It shows you a title, the chapters that you are responsible for in preparation for this module, chapter 6 and chapter 7, and the deadline by which you have to complete this work. It will give you an outline of the learning outcomes, what I expect you to learn in this module, and then there is a lesson. Here's a lesson. It comes with an outline of the chapter. That chapter outline usually has me sitting in front of an image telling you what the chapter is about, and then a chapter outline here in bullet point format, which can be useful to make sure that you understand what the chapter ultimately was trying to convey to you. There may be a video, such as this one. There may be another one, and at the end of that, you will be asked to complete a question. Or two in this case. You have 2 questions to answer. Please write in a short paragraph your responses to these questions, and note that you will show a 0% on this assignment until I have graded your work. So please don't worry if that is not yet done. Once I read your work, I will grade it, and then you will get your score. Let me get back to the table of contents here for your module. So this is the lesson. Every module has a lesson. The first 7 lessons have written responses required, and after that they move to multiple choice to give you a little bit of a break further down in the class. Another feature that is part of every module is the document quiz. The document quiz is based on the document readings, and the document readings are part of the textbook. They are called Voices of Freedom, and with every chapter come 2, so for a typical module, you have 4 of these. Read them carefully and think about what they mean. You might even want to think about the questions that are offered here so that you can understand these primary documents in their historical context. Then you will take the quiz. You have 12 minutes for 8 questions. These questions are not easy, and you really need to understand the meaning of these documents. Again, if you feel uncertain about how to read a document, this is my primer on source interpretation up here. Now let me show you another feature of every module, and that is the inquisitive assessment. The inquisitive assessment is specifically connected to the Foner textbook. So if you click here, it will take you to the Norton website that accompanies a series of questions with, as you can hear, very soothing music. You need to answer at least 40 questions, and ideally you will receive 100 points if you eventually get 40 questions right. You can take a lot of time with this if you haven't prepared, or you can do this very quickly if you are really strong on that particular chapter. In either way, you are able to receive 100% on that particular assignment. Now, every so often, a module has a discussion forum. For example, here, the Constitution's Bill of Rights, strict constructionism or living constitution. This question is first opens with a context that tries to explain the significance of this question. Then the specific questions I want you to answer, and then the process in which how to engage in this discussion. The point of discussion boards is for you to demonstrate your historical knowledge, but also connect history to the present and make history matter today. I believe very strongly that we benefit from historical understanding, not just in our daily civic lives, but also in our daily professional lives. And I will show you a couple of different examples in my discussion forums to show you and prove to you that discussion of history matters and makes us better, not just in our lives as citizens, but also on the job and as people, as family members, and as citizens. So these are the discussion forums. Take them seriously. Together they make up 15% of your grade. And so I would like you to think about them well ahead of time and really employ specifics about the past and the present in these discussion forums. Now we come to the final type of activity that happens ever so often in a module, and that is the writing activity. I'm going to show this up here in the assignments. You can see writing activities 1, A, B, C, D, E. You have 5 of them in Module 3, 5, 7, 10, and 13. And if you want to look at where your discussion forums are, you can see that here. They are on the learning forums in Module 2, 4, 6, 11, 14. So make sure that you never have both of them in 1 week to balance the workload a little bit. These writing activities, so let's get back to these, are scaffolded, meaning you always complete a step in an ideal essay writing process. You don't always write an essay. The first one is just about understanding the prompt. It actually requires very little of you. Mostly it requires you to understand the prompt. In writing activity B, you need to create a list of ideas. You need to do brainstorming. So you need to know your subject pretty well, but you don't need to write a whole essay. In the third one, you need to start planning the body of an essay, but not actually write an essay. Then in writing activity D, in module 10, then you need to write the midterm. That is actually writing a series of body paragraphs with integrated evidence. And then in module 13, you have writing activity E, where you practice specifically how to maintain coherence within a paragraph. The final is a separate writing activity at the very end. And the final is worth 25%. The midterm is worth 10%. These others here are only worth 1%. Don't be tempted to skip those, however, because you are still required to complete them. All assignments need to be completed if you want to earn a grade in this course. And that's, of course, something you know when you read the syllabus. So that's it in a nutshell. You can see every week you have a module to complete. You can look ahead and see what's due. Please pay attention and note that the deadlines for the inquisitive activities, these here, do not show up on your deadlines because these deadlines are titanium generated and your deadlines for inquisitive happen on the W.W. Norton website. I'm sure there are other questions you may still have. Feel free to email Joshua about this, or if Joshua cannot help you, he will make sure that I help you, or you can also, of course, email me at this address. I hope you'll have fun this semester. You may not feel like this is going to be fun, but I'm confident that over time you may find yourself caught up in the fascination that is historical thinking and historical methodology, and the very diverse range of topics that you'll come across. You might even be tempted to take history on as a minor or maybe switch your major. If you have any questions about how to do that, I'm always happy to help. So with that said, I look forward to talking to you, hearing you, and seeing your work over the course of the semester. Take care.